Hello and welcome to our video for Christmas is Not Cancelled, 15th of December. I hope that you've been enjoying our series of videos that have been going out here on Facebook on the WHAB site every day. This one, 15th of December, I get to do simply because obviously not all of our churches have the technology perhaps or the opportunity to make a video, and so on this occasion I get the great privilege of reading a contribution from Studham. And a lovely lady called Chrys Smith sent me a poem basically saying that she tried really hard to make a video, but her grandchildren kind of got in the way, and this is the poem about that Advent story and about her trying to set up the nativity scene. Hope you enjoy it, and thank you, Chrys, for your contribution. I can't even speak English. Advent poem. The story of Jesus begins with a rule that everyone had to be taxed. They all had to go to the town of their birth. This ruling could not be relaxed. So Joseph took Mary, who was near to her time, to his home so far, far away. No one has said how far that this was, but it certainly took more than a day. When they arrived, no room could they find for Mary to lay down and rest. And then a kind man lent them his shed, and that night Mary was blessed. I thought it was time for my grandkids to learn of this story of Jesus's birth, but things didn't go quite according to plan. Here's the tale for what it's worth. Let's first set the scene so everyone knows the characters, background, and so on. These form the basis of our little tale, so that you have something to go on. My two darling grandgirls are Robin and Freya, aged almost 5 and 2 years. Now this year's been a difficult time because of the lockdown that's here. In Jesus's time, Roman power was the rule that everyone else had to follow. This time it's COVID that's setting the tone and making life harder to swallow. We cannot go here, must not go there, and only do things in a bubble. But how do you then explain to a child that you can't even give them a cuddle? I thought I'd be clever, I know that I'm not, and do things a different way round. So I had sent to my daughter for them to unwrap a wooden nativity I'd found. There's Mary and Joseph, baby Jesus, of course, and 3 kings suitably dressed. Then 2 ragged shepherds, a donkey, a cow, and a sheep that Freya loves best. The scene is the stable. All stand inside, being placed as the story is told. A wonderful moment when all is complete and everyone steps back to behold. Except little Freya, who picks up the sheep and runs round the room shouting "Bah!", then pauses and swoops with the sheep in her hand, scattering all wooden items afar. No matter how many times the scene is built up, the result is always the same. Freya and the sheep knock it all down. To her, it's a wonderful game. At last she is tired and goes off to bed, and Robin has time to herself. She finds all the people and animals too, and puts them all back on the shelf. She resets the scene in the order they were, and she realizes she's singing away. Little donkey, carry Mary safely on her way. That made me think of this terrible year and the trouble that COVID has brought. The lockdowns, the bubbles, WhatsApp and Zoom, the anguish that this thing has wrought. But now it is Advent, a new start with new hope, that vaccine will lay this thing low. A baby is sent down from heaven above to show God's love to his people below. Thank you, Chrys, for that wonderful poem.